Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rolling. Okay. This edition of Garage Jiu-Jitsu, we're excited to have Jamie Levine here. Over the years, I don't think people really understand what an impact you've had on the MMA world, not just regionally in South Florida, but also nationally, internationally. Explain a little bit about, for the viewers, the WEF organization and the legacy, if you would.
Well, Joe, we started in 1997, and I came up with the concept of taking the underground fighting and based on what the UFC did, taking a lot of the street fighting, a lot of the underground circuit, and forming our own category called the World Extreme Fighting. I built my first cage in my cul-de-sac of my neighborhood with a couple buddies, Dino Sharon from JiuJitsu, and then just some jiu-jitsu guys, and we all came and built this 28-foot cage, an octagon, and in my cul-de-sac, and got it all done, and we had our first show in December of 1998. We were the second longest running, consistent running promotion in the world. Obviously the UFC had stopped whenever the transition from SEG, Bob Marowitz, to Lorenzo Fertitta and Zuffa, and we kept going. So yeah, so we are the second longest running promotion in the world.
Wow!
Thank God for that.
Are you still allowed to say the word octagon?
No,
yeah, right.
No, we use a hexagon now.
We use a hexagon.
I'm just tired of paying Dana.
Yeah, everybody is. Tell me a bit about what you've noticed over the years with the sport, being an insider and one of the pioneers.
I'll tell you, the biggest thing is guys are getting tougher. Everybody's getting good. There's no tomato cans per se like the old days. Oh, I'm going to get a tomato can, or I'm going to get a chump. There is nobody like that. Because gosh, these kids these days are just training and training. You have 18-year-old kids, 19-year-old kids coming in the gym that are just badasses. And thank goodness we fought back then. We getting a lot, and that's why you don't see very many undefeated fighters out there anymore, because the guys are so good, and everybody's learning how to punch. Everybody's learning how to punch, and jiu-jitsu too. I mean, you don't go anywhere and at the MMA events, and people, oh, they used to say, oh, get a room, quit hugging each other, quit, kiss them or something. They don't say that. They're like, oh, watch for the triangle, watch for the arm bar. Oh, look, they're setting up a Kimura. Everybody's, posture. Yeah, I hear people in the crowd yelling for people to posture. You never heard that, up until a few years ago. Well, some of the key guys that stick out in my mind, obviously Minotaur Nogueira. Rodrigo Nogueira made his USA debut in DeLand, Florida, at the fairgrounds. John Peretti refereed. He fought David Dodd, who was Extreme Challenge champion. Back in. I remember him. Yeah, he was good.
What did
really
Minotaur get paid for that fight? Do you remember?
I think $500.
Really?
And I don't even think I paid it. I think somebody else. Came up and said, "Hey, can you get him in there?" I'm like, "I don't know this Brazilian." Oh no, you have to get this guy. And we became good friends. I mean, he came to Orlando. He stayed and trained at De La Riva, and he's a De La Riva black belt. This is before he was a black belt. He was a brown belt. He didn't get his black belt until right after that fight, I believe. And I think we all got promoted that day at De La Riva. But yeah, it's the first time I met him. And I remember even Kevin Cook from Lakeland came and trained with him in this big jiu-jitsu camp in Orlando. But and Hanato Babalu. Babalu made his debut against Brad Kohler in January 15, 2000 in the WEF in Going Platinum, Rome, Georgia. Our first sellout crowd. Great. Mm-hmm. Titch on the card, fighting Pele Landy on that card, and Jeremy Horn, who fought Minotaur Nogueira.
Wow.
Yeah, Jens Pulver fought on the card. I mean, there's just tons of guys. Alex Paz from a Brazilian top team, I believe, and yeah, he was on. Bobby Hoffman. We had, I think, everybody on the card. Aaron Riley included. I think everybody had been in the UFC. Matt Hughes against Georgie Pereira. So I think almost 90% of the people are UFC veterans and have been in the UFC and are Pride.
And held belts.
And held belts, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
I mean, you have Miletich and Hughes, Pulver, Dean Thomas, all these guys, just phenomenal athletes.
What stories over the years? The ones
I'm going to get in trouble.
Yeah, the ones you can share.
If I come out with a book, I'm going to be, there's going to be a target marked on my head, if there's not already. Well, I mean, one of the great ones is road trip with Wade Rome and Nogueira and everybody competing for the Abu Dhabi. But in the Evansville World Class fight in, I believe it was May of 2000, when Matt Hughes got into it backstage with Pele Landy because of the decision and the smack talk that was going on when he fought Dave Manet. And they ended up fighting, I guess, in, I think, Beirut or Lebanon or somewhere in the Middle East. Some Saudi prince said, hey, you know, let's just pay these guys a ton of money to come over here and fight. I think McCarthy refereed it. So yeah, I believe that's it. I think it's on the internet that, you know, and Pele knocks Hughes out with a knee, but the crap talking was
the precursor.
Yeah, and believe me, I tried to get that. I tried to get that fight, and I wanted it. I really did. And you know, we had good backing back then, and I'm like, I tried to make it happen, but you can't compete with oil and gold. So.
No. So the WEF, or 40 plus shows, 45 shows. We were just at your last show. It was a great show, by the way. Loved it. The production's awesome. What's different about the WEF than other shows?
Well, our slogan is "We Fight Harder," and I try to, I match the card, obviously. I'm a part owner of the company now, and what I try to do is I come and scout different camps, and you know, people see me around the gyms like, you know, what the hell is Jamie Levine doing there? Fuck that guy, you know, blah blah blah. But I'm there because I'm doing my job. Sometimes I'll go and roll, or I'll hold mitts for people, or I'll put on a gi and roll jiu-jitsu or whatever. I'll put on gear and we'll spar, whatever. But I need to, in my opinion, I'm getting older now, getting tougher, but I want to see people, and I trust people like you and Dan and Alex and all these fight camps, or Rory Singer, you know, he's referring a guy for the next card. I trust guys that have been in the business a long time to say, hey, this guy is ready, this guy is going to be the next up and comer. So, you know, and I like to see for myself. I'm kind of like a control freak like that. I have to see myself. I don't want to rely on somebody, but I take their word enough for me to come there and say, okay, that guy is the guy that I want, and then I know exactly who I'm going to match him with. And I try to do that. I mean, you know, it could have went either way with your guy and Aaron. It was, you know, and a lot of those fights were that way. And so we fight harder is our logo, is our I guess our saying there. And that's what I try to abide by. With
45 shows, the MMA world, the testosterone-laden world we live in, you've got to be a polarizing figure at times.
Well,
you know, you've got your reputation online. You've got your reputation as a guy who fights and trains, and you have respect. So, you know, let's talk about that. You've called people out online.
Oh, I have to, because these keyboard warriors, they just make me, they get under my skin sometimes. Not so much now because I'm older, but man, just a few years ago, I just wanted to just bitch slap a couple of little bitches. But you have to, because, you know, these guys don't know, and I've done it. And now it's gone down because some people really talk shit on you. And if I see them, if somebody points them out at a fight, I will confront them to their face, and they have no idea what to do. Because I'm large. Yeah. I was 6'2", now I'm two something, yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, and I can still hit. So I'm just not, and I'm not scared. That's the thing, because I don't want to be a pussy, and that's just, you know, I don't want to be that way, and I don't think anybody, you know, I'll back up what I have to say. I'm sure I'll get my butt kicked one of these days, but that just comes with the territory. Yeah. But now that I'm getting older, you know, more of like a family guy, I try not to do that. I don't even go on the underground anymore. Forget that place. It's like bombs.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So you're still training. So you tell us about your jiu-jitsu training.
Well, I competed in the NAGA, so I did that. It was fun. I like to do it, but I like to have a purpose to do it. Like now, another big tournament's coming up 6 months from now, so I'll start it 1 day a week for 2 weeks, then I'll go 2 days, then I'll go 3 days, and then 4 days. But because I'm old and fat, and it's hard to get out there. I did 3 minutes the other day, and I was like, Mike Lee was laughing at me.
Who you train with? Where do you train?
I train at the Jungle, right? With Tom Lawler, Mike Lee, Seth Petrozelli, and the whole Jungle monkeys there. And you know, there's a lot of guys there.
Good guys.
Good guys.
Good guys. Good guys. I know they come down and help our camp once in a while. Seth and Tom have them.
And you know those guys. They don't take it easy on the old man either. No. Tom tries to kill you. Yeah. Seth laughs at you after he kicks you in his face. After he kicks me in my face. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, you know, but jiu-jitsu, I'm okay. Wrestling, I'm okay.
Good.
I'm fine.
Tell us what you've got coming up soon, the next event. Can you share with us? Can you reveal some people on the card potentially, where it's going to be, what date it is?
Yes, the next World Extreme Fighting card is going to be in Orlando, Florida, Friday, April 22nd. It's WEF 46, and brand new arena, University of Florida, Central Florida. Great, beautiful, brand new arena. And our top headlining fight will be Anthony Ray versus Ken Shamrock. Yep, Ken Shamrock. Yep, Ken Shamrock is coming to the WEF. Fighting the Frenchman, Anthony Ray, who's WEF veteran. Petrozelli will be on the card.
Wow.
Yeah. We have RJ Goodrich as a title fight.
Nice.
American Top Team, BTT guys, one of Matachenko's guys. I mean, it's going to be an all-star card. Guys from Brazil, guys from Holland, you know, Alistair Wilson, kickboxer. You saw him fight, the most bloody fight I've had this year in the last couple years in Jacksonville. Yeah, great fight. You know, we have a title fight on the card, obviously. So, yeah, things are really going to be picking up this year.